We're at the
That's what
mercy
people
of
at
both the
home-
Huya feed and the LPL League officials, neither of which we have control over. When was it ever in the ball was never in our court?
If you ask chat, it's our fault. Anything that happens is our fault. If we have a
but
technical issue with Huya, it's suddenly, why is this stream so incredibly terrible? And it's like, guys, volunteer broadcast. Anyway, we're getting ourselves ready here. JDG are gonna have first pick. They're gonna end up on the red side, however, and we're still gonna have Poppy and Azir banned. Still Orianna. So what exactly are we first picking? In my mind, we're looking at AD carries. I'm looking at Aphelios. We have Jinx still up. A lot of things are still. I mean, even Sivir, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, the big hyper carry marksmen are left. I do wonder if we're gonna see another Xayah Rakan out of JDG. Like you said, the Rakan really high up in prio. Mel makes an initial appearance. By the way, Twisted Fate came and went. I don't understand. It was banned first round in game number 4. That's the one appearance he's had all series. I don't know what they're cooking over there, but he's... Oh, well, there he is. He's back.
All
right. I don't know.
Maybe that was the matchup they were looking for. They're like, okay, we don't want to
right.
play Twisted Fate into a Kali, and we don't want to play it into Mel now. So all the options. We need to see volatile side lanes. Thankfully, we will not get a Seraphine bottom lane.
Ooh. All right. I like the Cassiopeia for Shanks. Blind Trundle for Tarzan. Perhaps calling out.
We need to see some flips. I want to see some flips here. We need to get some bot lane. We need to get a
Oh,
bot
is it
lane
the
that's going to try to
Vampire
flip the game.
Thresh? There it is.
There we
The
go.
Vampire Thresh was so good a couple days ago. It was dope. I loved to see it. Some really, really great plays with the Dark Passage especially. The whole team played around it really, really well. Yeah, they were able to wreak some havoc on that one. So I'm excited to see Vampire back on that pick here. Had a lot of individual impact. I would be getting excited for Jace Jungle right now if we hadn't blinded Trundle, but now I think it's going to Flandre blind. He will get a chance to ban to defend it. It's going to be the Cassante instead. That's better.
I think you should not be allowed to pick Jace when you see Twisted Fate on your screen on an enemy team. That just means as soon as he hits level 6, well, guys, I'm getting gold carded, and there's not much for us to do. So what lane are we going to be looking to flip? Because AL saved their bottom lane for second phase, so probably means we're going to be seeing a Sivir banned here by JDG. And what other matchups are you even going to be looking for? I mean, if you take Gnar as JDG, you have a really good early game setup, but team fights become a little bit tricky. I think it's the only remaining top lane that I would feel really comfortable with us trying to be a little bit more spicy. You could also go for Gwen, and I think Gwen gets a lot of value versus Cassiopeia and Trundle later on. So there are a few options here. I think Xiaoshu is really going to have to dig deep for a champion that is going to be able to perform, and he has been, I think, the best player on this team for all 4 of these previous games.
I do also think, I mean, this Trundle is somewhat a call out to Junja and what champion pool he has going for himself too, right? Because you take away all of the champions Fearless away, all the champions banned. The champions that Junja have played this season remaining are Malphite, Mundo, and Sejuani. You don't want to play any of those into the Trundle if you could avoid it. So what else does he have in the tank? What else can he show us a brand new champion here that he hasn't played yet this season, or is he going to feel forced onto one of those picks?
It might be a Lilia. This could be a Lilia game for Junja. Would be one of the best answers into Trundle. If he doesn't want that and he wants an AD, you could play Kindred. Those are kind of the 2 champions that I'm thinking, but they're very much out there. Shun is the only person we've seen play Kindred, at least here. It makes sense considering he's an old school Kindred player. We're getting Lucian. Does this mean we're getting Braum? Could also be Milio. Milio's disgusting, but I feel like Milio has completely dropped out of competitive meta. Like, no one wants to play
Could be good
this
against
champion.
Thresh Twisted Fate, though. I mean, Breath of Life feels kind of good in that context. If we see Aphelios, Kindred, Twisted Fate all on the same team, I'm trying to shoehorn like a Shen into that comp if I can. I gotta get some auto attack dodging on my comp if I'm seeing that team comp come through. Instead, it very well might be the Gwen here. Xiaoshu likes this matchup into the Cassante. Feels like he can be the biggest menace in the side lane here. But now there's no front line left. Now maybe Junja is going to be forced to pick a tank into this Trundle, man. I mean, or maybe not.
We're getting another Kha'Zix game. Hey, considering what time it is,
Where's
maybe
Quax?
Quax is alive. Maybe
Yeah,
Quax is
somebody
actually,
ping Quax. He might be awake. It's possible. Here's the Melio. It's a Melio or a Braum angle here. I like the Melio into the Thresh Twisted Fate. I'm about it.
It's been a long time since we've gotten Melio, especially here in the LPL. So, good 2v2. I think that AL have a very sturdy front line to be able to play. Almost feels like JDG are going to be a bit more of this pick composition. They can really chase you for a very long time thanks to having gold cards and Gwen, but looking on side lanes, I really like what JDG have. It's just whether or not they can actually use this. We saw in the Galio game, Hongq wasn't really moving to the other side. It was mostly about protecting Jinja. Now you have this Kha'Zix, which we haven't seen been played in a very long time for him. So what else? He is 0-2 in competitive all time. And the last time he played it was MSI 2023. He lost to Golden Guardians.
I'm blown away here. How squishy is this JDG comp, my man? Like, this is... I feel like it's going to be tough to not just get melted en route to trying to arrive at anybody. You need to be able to, like... You just need to be able to find the big flank angles and the assassinations here with your Kha'Zix and your Gwen. Right? Or just play through side lanes all day long, because...
Yeah.
I mean, actually setting up for this, you can't play... Aphelios feels like a way out of place here, no? Like, it's going to be so difficult to set up successful scenarios for him.
Yeah, Thresh is going to hopefully have to be his only way out, but Trundle Pillar is OP as hell, man. Like, you just throw Trundle Pillar, you can stop the Dark Passage, so that's one. And then if ever Aphelios steps a little too far up, whether that's in mid lane or around an objective, Trundle Pillar, boom, he's done for. He's on the other side of the wall. He has to lose its flash almost every single time. This is going to be a very, very explosive draft here for JDG. If they can't win this one, obviously that's just the end of the series. I need to see Hongq getting early and active.
Oh, some Gyos, but also Hongq exchanging blows. We're good.
Okay.
All right.
Want to see those side lanes? This is going to be Unsealed Spellbook. We're also going for Jack of Trades, Twisted Fate, so a ton of ability haste. Means potentially more ultimates, but we need to see one of these lanes. Once he hits level 6, I want to see him jump into one of these, whether it's top lane or we're looking towards bottom lane. Braum can only do so much, and he is someone that they can maybe even look to punish.
Absolutely. All right. AI. All about the AL comp this time around. So, level 1. Bot lane's duking it out. The Braum stuns are coming on through. We will get some nice early damage found on towards Vampire. The Thresh, pretty squishy in the early game. Squishier than he used to be in pretty much all stages of the game. Not really the frontliner that he once was.
They're on the same side of the map. They're probably just gonna have to recall after their first clears here. I guess Trundle can go through bottom side, but he is spotted on that ward. Very early aggressive invade. You saw that punishment onto Hongq. Was just them looking for something. Yeah, level 3, here we go.
Ooh, hook connects on towards Kyle. He will take a turret shot for that, and that's a big one. He falls down to below 300 HP. Tarzan, though,
doing it again?
In the area. Both jugglers are here. Are we going for this? Is this happening right now? Tarzan stepping up forward, already has lost half of his HP. Hook connects onto Kyle. Here comes Junja. I think they assumed he had given up and gone up towards the top side. 2 kills to JDG at 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
Thank you, Tabe. This was a draft masterclass from you, brother. No way we could have known this was going to happen. They went for an early invade. Tarzan overstays on this, and now, I mean, Kha'Zix gets his entire top side. Not only that, but getting the local experience from one of those kills as well. This is a huge start for them, and now we need to see them continue to snowball this. We're going to look back. They had no vision. This is such tight timing here. Holds the wall, doesn't get spotted, and now Tarzan, yeah, he spends way too much time. I mean, Kyle, if he had flash for this, he could have flash queued, put all of these stacks on the GALA, but the concussive blows never comes out. They just get so many free kills over to them. And now it's like, we're going to hit level 5 soon on Honkyu. Level 6 will come after that. And you could potentially revisit this bottom lane and kill Kyle again.
It's in the cards. Junja gets a first kill onto Kha'Zix, by the way. That feels awesome.
Yep.
Once he's going to actually be able to spend some of that first blood gold. I didn't see if he got the first blood or GALA did, but I mean, that's 100 gold difference at the end of the day. Who cares? You're rocking quite the advantage one way or the other. Question is, will he be able to get the Brutalizer? Probably not at this early of a stage, but it's a great start for him either way, and it's going to be serrated Dirk.
Yeah, Dirk feels good. Probably just going for the Umbral Glaive, which did get buffed. So a little bit more damage when you are invisible, and your first attack has a bit more armor crush, so feels pretty good on that one. Saul is very close there for Flandre, who finally gets his Cassante. With how low range this comp can be, Cassante can be a decent frontliner. Just whether or not the damage is kind of behind him. And with how things are going, it is, to me at least, kind of coming down to whether or not Shanks can have another carry performance. He has been not quiet through the regular season, but maybe not having a super standout split. But Cassiopeia is in a really good spot here, I think, this game, of all games, to be a menace. I mean, she's going to have Rod of Ages, she's going to have her Seraphs, and that means that the threat of an assassination or getting blown up by things like Kha'Zix is very, very low, at least the longer this game does go on.
Yeah, Cassiopeia definitely in a really good spot here. Going to be able to melt through these health bars pretty fast. Not really the most reliable engage here for JDG, so they kind of have to walk at you. Cassiopeia loves that. Loves to be walked at. And will certainly, along with this Cassante Trundle frontline, and Braum, be in a really good position to be able to counter that out. I do still really like the AL draft, despite the comedy of errors that we've just witnessed in the bottom lane. If they can keep those to a minimum, you can really see how these later game teamfight scenarios are going to pay off for them, and it's going to be a lot more about Xiao Shu in the side lane. Here's Tarzan trying to get a flash out of Honkyu if they can. Doesn't look like they will be able to successfully do so. Good footwork for Honkyu, avoiding the Noxious Blast there.
Tanks one more just for the road. Do you have any opinions on Cassio getting boots back? I think it's probably the most meaningful change because she kind of got screwed for all of 2025 by not having access to tier 3 boots.
Yeah, I mean they gave her a stat thing on her passive.
That was kind of cringe though.
It wasn't enough. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean the not buying boots thing was kind of goofy anyway. It's just so I'm pretty neutral on it.
All right,
Anivia buys boots. The snake can buy boots.
I just didn't understand why Cassio wasn't allowed to buy boots, but Nami was. Like, Nami's entire...
Vel'Koz.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, there's a big list.
At least put the boot on her head, you know? Like, at least make it a little bit funny if we're going to do some stupid lore stuff or give her a nothing burger passive of free MS. That was extremely useless. Now, Kha'Zix trying to go for an early invade. I mean, Twisted Fate has ultimate, so you can always kind of do this for free. Gal's going to come over and check this, but Jinja can just walk over, jump over the wall if he's ever under any real threat here. Oh, GALA steps forward, uses his flash.
All right,
and his ghost. Jesus.
Yep, there goes the summoners from GALA. So going to be potentially under a little bit of threat here if Tarzan does make a trip towards the bottom lane again. Junja does have the level 6 advantage here, so we'll be able to get one of his evolutions on off as necessary. And should be in a good position to be able to potentially take this dragon. The only question is that Honkyu is recalling at the moment, yet the fight is starting anyway. Junja going to have his leap interrupted, go into the dark passage, going to get stunned up before he can get there, finally pulled back out to safety. Honkyu's gone though, so Shanks has time to regroup with the rest of the team while that guy is walking his way back. Will have access to the Destiny Gate though.
You're always going to be worried. As soon as Honkyu drops into Fog of War, you're saying, okay, Twisted Fate can be here, guys. I pushed in my wave, but I'm taking a recall, and I don't have teleport. You can see that both Hope and Shanks opted for a cleanse here in this game. They know there's only 2 pieces of CC in this game that are going to matter. It's a gold card, and it's a death sentence. So let's make sure we don't get hit by those, and that basically cuts out a lot of the threat that JDG might have in later game skirmishes when we're having those 5-on-5 standoffs around objectives. There's going to be meaningful summoner spells to watch here in this game. Xiaoxu's trying to get that one last play. He'll finally grab it. There's a play towards these grubs, and I mean, Game 5, obviously small objective wins like this are always going to feel nice, but one team has a Gwen, and I really don't want to see them grab 5 grubs, or 3 grubs. That sounds like a miserable take to have.
Yeah, it does look like Tarzan going to be able to secure the majority of the grubs here. Junja does not appear to have any interest in arriving, and again, Honkyu's been forced back, having a bit of a tough lane against Shanks here, who has, despite the loaded dice gold that Twisted Fate generates, that's going to give him the gold lead. He's down a lot of CS. He's down about 20 here. And it's going to be good for Shanks and going to mean that he's going to be able to continue to exert pressure there. Rod of Ages, though, done for the Twisted Fate. Honky finally going to be able to start scaling into the game here.
And it's done before Cassiopeia, which I think is a pretty meaningful change. He is almost level 9, and we still haven't seen him go to a side lane. Like, no attempt on the Flandre. Fine, it's Cassante, but I would really like to see them at least prep a wave or prep a dive. We have Dragon on the map at 9.5 minutes and no play on bottom side. We never punished Hope and Kael for not having summoner spells again. So, another instance where Honkyu just, whether it's his choice or the opponent's locking him in the lane, has not found any real angles here in this game so far. And I think that's harming JDG's potential.
Yeah. JDG, note that GALA is still down both summoners here if this dragon fight is to come to pass. Shanks still pushing up in mid lane. Tarzan still farming bottom side camps. The the dragon rather, under full vision. Likely going to be the target here for AL as they try to step up towards it. They're calling mid lane over as well. Xiaoxu getting a great chunk on the Flandre here, going to be able to push him back. Won't be able to finish off the kill, but with no TP, Flandre now in a rough position. Hook connects onto Tarzan. Huge damage here, but Kael's there to back him up. In comes the port from Honkyu.
No!
Kael able to stop him, though, with the Unbreakable. Hope needs to find these shots on a Honkyu, though, too slowed up by the box. And Honkyu will stay alive, flashes forward, doesn't get the auto. Oh, man, this is all getting chaotic real fast here. Shanks flashing forward, going to be able to get the lockdown onto Junja. Miasma holds him still, and the kill will be picked up for AL. Dragon soon to follow.
And a huge play here for AL, grabbing this dragon on top of it, man. Like, that's super dangerous. And Junja, who had a huge lead, he has 1,000 gold over Tarzan. They're not able to burst him out. Kael uses the stand beside me. Completely cuts away at the isolation damage. Somehow, JDG still have a 1,700 gold lead, but, I mean, we'll take a look back at this play. They had no vision of this. This should have been their kill. Why is Twisted Fate not already here? You popped the Destiny Gate so early, we didn't even flash to try to kill Tarzan here, and then we do this gold card. We're going to get a slow-mo from the observers, and I think that's the sad part about this.
And we say you're mean. Oh, that's tough.
God. Just, no. Good flash from Shanks. He has absolutely been the better mid laner in this series. And showing it here, just the experience and, yeah, he did a fantastic job here in this fight.
Yeah, that's another moment where I don't know if I'm happy or sad that we don't get a top 8 shot for that, because that's tough to watch. That feels real bad if you're hoping for a JDG win here today. That dragon stacking going to get started for AL. It's still pretty late. This has not really been a dragon-centric series, especially given the year that it currently is. But that time, both teams prioritizing it heavily. And the fact that they don't get that kill down onto Tarzan, going to disrupt what was looking like it could have been JDG continuing to snowball the game in their favor.
I do want to correct you. It is the year of the horse, not of the dragon. The next one is going to be 2036.
Good point.
So we have at least 10 years before it's the year of the dragon. But
take it up with Riot Games, buddy. All right, I've seen a lot of games played through dragons for a couple years in a row now.
That's been the case for like 6 years now.
Yeah, that's again. Take it up with Riot, buddy. I don't.
Last year was actually year of the.
I'll balance the game.
So.
Anyway.
No notes. No notes.
AL. Moving on up in the world, get themselves their first dragon, finishing up their quests. Got themselves the grubbies as well. And now, just a couple minutes away from this Rift Herald. We'll see if they want to continue to play for. Hasn't been the most impactful objective in this series. We've seen some goofy ones for certain. Oh, that dash forward from Flandre.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it matters.
He got spotted, though, on the tri-brush ward. You saw the pings immediately. And, I mean, Shanks is so powerful right now that it's really tough. You can see that Honkyu's sitting behind his turret right now. And the fact that Cassiopeia, not only in a lane versus Twisted Fate, but gets to stay this far up in the lane with a Kha'Zix on JDG, that should be heresy. This guy should be dead. He has no flash, and there's no attempt from them. So JDG are just kind of sitting around, cycling camps. This is giving AL time to scale in this game. I mean, again, like we're 4 minutes behind of Rod of Ages, and I don't think it really even matters for AL. They're going to always be more relevant in this game. They have better frontline, better engagement as the game goes on. So when are we going to see this Twisted Fate do anything? That's kind of my worry right now.
Yeah, we have not seen an impactful Destiny gate yet. The one that has occurred was that botched fight earlier. I mean, Honky doesn't have flashback yet, but yeah, not getting the chance to really do very much with this pick. That was clearly a big priority for JDG. I mean, him pairing up with Junja to get this Kha'Zix rolling feels like it's got to be a big priority here. It's also kind of a question of where do you go, right? Braum does a good job of hosing you, as does Cassante. There's not really great targets to gank with this Twisted Fate. Instead, he's going to be getting ganked. Junja here to bail him out as he pops the Ghost.
He steals the respawn Raptors. They're going to see if they can make another play. Some more plates on the bottom side. AL instead are going to go for a trade. They're just going to say, look, you've decided to put all your members on bot side. They don't know that the Kha'Zix is here, but should just be the Herald as well. And remember, AL, they have 3 grubs here. This is really, really dangerous to be giving over, I think, from JDG's perspective. It's gold into GALA's pocket, and maybe he'll be the big one to kind of basically carry this team across the finish line. I want to take a moment to talk about the through lines of these last 2 Game 5s from JDG. All series long, both versus AL now and Top Esports. Junja has had much tougher series, but in Game 5s, he really comes alive. I don't know what it is about the drafts now. Xiaoshu
getting a little dove here. Will be able to absorb it without too much trouble, and the popping of Destiny is going to cause AL to back away. But, I mean, that's your second cast of Destiny, brother, and it's to spook people away from diving Xiaoshu. Now Flandre here for the Dragon, going to stop them from soloing it, or duoing it, I suppose. And here comes the rest of AL, ready to respond in turn. They know there's no Destiny. There's no Unseen Predator as well. That's Kha'Zix's passive. I don't remember what the ulti is called, but either way, not going to be able to get on in with that one, and the Dragon now going to be AL's to take.
So many small mistakes here from JDG, and somehow they have a 3,500 gold lead. It doesn't feel like that, I'll be honest. With where the game state is right now, I feel like AL are really, really comfy with the spot they're in. Junja taking a disgusting flank to try to steal this, but Tarzan and Shanks are on their way. They're just coming back to their jungle camps. Cool, you jumped away. You're going to run into Kyle. Maybe they just pick out the Braum.
Oh, there's a cleanse from Kyle. He's going to try to walk his way out of this one, and looks like it's going to work. Junja grabs the Dark Passage, says, I'm not chasing this Braum any further. I don't know what's waiting for me in those bushes.
All right, so I'll give you the Kha'Zix's passive is actually Unseen Threat, and Void Assault is
Void Assault. All right, yeah, I don't know.
And it is the, well, I guess they are different names. Never mind. I was going to say the Kha'Zix's abilities are usually just evolved and then whatever, but they all do change their names, so.
I know it's Evolve Active Camouflage. I know that name.
Nope, you're actually still wrong. It's Adaptive Cloaking. Just fries in the back, brother. Just put the fries in the back. You called Victor Ultimate Chaos Stormer. That's how I know you're old.
Well, I could have told you I'm old, but Active Camouflage must also be being old, because it was definitely called Active Camouflage at some point.
Whatever you say. We actually, I could just gaslight you and say that was never the case.
You could. It wouldn't work though. Even if you could demonstrate to me that it was never the case, I'm gonna convince myself here. I'm locked in on this one. But Shanks coming on up from the bottom lane. keep Junja out of this river. Operation Prevent Scuttles from going to JDG is a go. Despite the 3.5K gold lead, not able to push into this team comp. The Braum, the Cassiopeia, the whole AL comp is so effective at stopping this JDG comp from being able to push into them.
Got Herald, they've got 3 grubs. I mean, this is going to be a big injection of gold with these plates going over. Twisted Fate's pushing on side. I mean, like, when are we ever going to get value here? It almost feels like JDG, they know that if they make a mistake, they're going to lose the game. But from my point of view, it feels like if they don't do anything, they're also going to lose this game. So at some point, you kind of have to just call your shot, look for something, even if it's just killing Cassante or taking him out of the lane so that Gwen can take this top tier 1. I am really, really worried for them. And as AL, sure, you'll take the game 5 victory, but it kind of comes at from your inactivity of your opponent. And that's... a win's a win at the end of the day. I won't complain too much.
Certainly, I mean, AL are going to be willing to like let this game play on out. So, like you said, it's going to have to be a trigger pull from JDG. It's going to have to be a moment chosen. Here's a moment chosen right here, but it's onto the Braum. Kael absorbs the gold card. Says, Hope, you are perfectly safe, my friend. Tarzan is here for the backup, and that's a 3rd Destiny used, Ulk, and still no kills to show for it.
Ooh. Dark Passage absolutely saving his life. And we did this, by the way, for Cassio to now grab all of this turret in bot lane. I hope the Observer showed, thank you. He just gets this entire turret, and he does. I don't even care that he doesn't have the teleport for this, right? There is under no threat that this Baron's going over to JDG. Jinja's trying to get damage. He's a subjugate.
Tarzan's gonna fight him. Tarzan takes this 1v1, says, come at me, bro. Hope shows up. Hope looking for one more auto. Will find it. He's gonna die over to Honkyu, though. And it will be his support picked off as well. Quick little 2-for-1. AL maybe get a little big for their britches there. Feel too confident watching Tarzan do well in the 1v1 and give up a little more than they had to.
That's really big. I mean, this is a 2-item Kha'Zix. If there's ever a game for Jinja to really have the game, this is going to be it. GALA is also picking up a fair amount of gold here in this play, not just from those 2 kills, but just in general has been doing really, really well. On Vision is Tarzan. I mean, his Cassio is farming up. Sure, you can see how much damage this Kha'Zix is able to do if he can get onto the right targets. But it's also a very expensive trade. Flash from Hope, that is something that JDG can look to punish. And he also doesn't have Cleanse, so maybe they might try to use this to get themselves even more within the next 3 minutes.
That's got to be the goal. Oh, Xiaoshu finds himself an angle up against Flandre. He wants this kill. Tarzan up in his face, going to try to slow him down. The needles graze Flandre, but they don't take him down. And a 1K gold lead to Xiaoshu feels pretty good, as does 2 items, but this turret going to add to that lead. That's going to need to be their focus. JDG in the side lane. This Gwen, huge strength for them.
Oh, Jinja took the portal. They know he's on this side of the map, and it's completely warded out. Remember, no ultimate for this Gwen if she comes. Oh, no.
They're just going to pull the trigger onto Honkyu. He's about to get stunned. Dark Passage bails him out yet again. Here comes Flandre off the TP. It is a 5-on-5 for Dragon number 3. Vampire going to get stunned up first here. Does connect a hook. It's on to Kael. Kael going to be able to back on away in time. Triple knockback found by Flandre into the miasma. Moonlight Vigil comes out. Smite is successful for Tarzan. Soul point secured. And AL can back away now if they want to, but they might see an opportunity to get a little bit more. Flandre up in the front line. Noxious Blast connecting. Honkyu getting ticked down lower and lower by these Twin Fangs. And JDG will back away. AL get what they came for.
Yeah, guess what, JDG? You still have a 3,000 gold lead, but what do you have to show for it? You are down 3 dragons in this game, and very little gained from this standoff around the objective. Sure, you got a teleport out from Cassante, but I love to be in AL's shoes right now. I have a 2-item Cassio. We're going to have 3 items and an Infinity Edge coming on through for Hope soon. There's that AI graph, and I'll agree with you on this one. 61% chance. I'd give them another 5 or 8% on that one, honestly. It is looking way better for them here in this game number 5. An important one. Again, winning this gains you at least top 3 in the season, and potentially even one step closer to just making the finals outright. This is AL trying to straight up dominate this playoffs. 3-0 start versus WE, 5 games versus JDG, but that won't really matter, right? History is written by the victors.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that game number 2 ever again if AL is able to close out this series. Maybe a little bit in the next pre-show. We'll see. But beyond that, we'll be willing to put that one to bed if AL are able to walk away with it at the end of the day. I do want to reclaim my Mr. Positive title here a little bit and say something good about JDG. Vampire Thresh remains quite good. I've been impressed with it yet again. I think he has bailed Hongq out and Junja out of so many dicey situations here. It feels like JDG could have been out of it already had he not always been in position, always had the W ready for him.
So I did some digging because there's nothing going on and we're not getting a Hongq ult anyway. You were right about the ultimate. Active camouflage, or evolved active camouflage.
Oh my god, we're going back to this?
Would
okay,
you
it
be
used to be
able
called...
Would you be able to guess when that was changed?
Well, I'm going to say 2020.
No. Season 6, 2016.
Ooh!
Yeah, 6/22 is when they changed it. So,
well, stop changing stuff, Riot. I don't, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's never gonna leave my memory, so maybe just stick with it. I still call him Ninja Tabby too. I think that was probably around the same time.
That's fair. That's fair. You know, I will cut Hongq some slack. Remember, we talked about that the cleanse is always going to be super valuable. And now I look at Mikhail's being done for Kael. This Twisted Fate is just losing value, and you're going to be level 16 soon, but it's just not even like a real, like, there's no real side pressure. It is all Xiaoshu and it's all Junja. It kind of comes down to them, and GALA has been good, but he needs the setup in the fights. It is near impossible for him to do very much in these. So if we can burst out a target, that's kind of my goal. And if we have a massive Aphelios ultimate, maybe it is just there. The flat lethality he has from his kit. He has Collector. He's going for LDR. Also, we're in 26-3. Where are my Hex Optics, guys?
It's a good question. But I mean, you're talking about the frontline setup for GALA. It's what frontline setup for GALA? Like, it's hard to even imagine what a good scenario looks like. There's just nobody on JDG's team comp that can tank like 4 or 5 Cassiopeia E's. It's the champion's just not there. There's nobody that's capable of doing such a thing.
Well, now they're under threat if you're JDG. There is a Hex Tech Soul in a minute. You've completed some pretty big items. RFC just completed for Hongq. This looks like it's going to be LDR. It's going to instead be a Mortal Reminder. Makes sense with having a Cassio and more specifically a Trundle in the game. Trying to see if there's any big... You look on the opposite side though. Hope finishes in Infinity Edge. It's not really what you want if you're JDG right now.
No, it is not. Hongq stepping up, finds a gold card, but it's too little too late. Rylai's working overtime for Shanks. Love that selection for this game in particular. Tarzan gets a nice kill around it too. Junja can't get
walk
through.
out.
He's stuck. Door's stuck. Door's stuck as Junja flashes back over the wall to try to keep himself alive. Will be able to stay standing. Nobody falls from JDG, but what about the follow-up? Still going to be exchanging some blows back and forth here, Ulk.
This is good. I like this, though. You got the ultimate out from Braum and from Lucian. This is as good as it's going to get for them. They'll have push in mid, but right now it's all about the Dragon. Flandre is so damn tanky. The only people who can kill him right now is this Gwen and Aphelios. Dragon's being started, and AL, it seems like instead they're going to play around the mid wave and see if they can maybe get a little bit more. Maybe find someone out. Get maybe even this Twisted Fate.
Now, one gold card did take Hope for about half of what he was worth there. Another one connects onto Kael. That's some big damage here. In goes the engage onto Flandre. Moonlight Vigil takes down one. Flandre's basically out of health. GALA running amok. Destiny out of the back line. This time it finds a kill, double kill, triple kill to GALA. And he comes alive. JDG get their first Dragon of the game, and they get 3 kills while they're at it. They're making a beeline right for the Baron.
That play around the choke where the ultimate, the culling from Hope, didn't get anybody, that might have just cost them the entire game here. JDG not only stopped the Dragon Soul from going over, but also grabbed themselves a Baron and multiple kills. maybe finally stepping into this game comfortably with 3 items. I mean, we were worried about this early game. AL had looked so good for so long here in this game, but this pick never ends up materializing. Hope, on the other side, why are we playing with our Braum here? I feel bad because Shanks is so damn powerful, but the hollowed miss is getting a ton of value in this fight, and even with Braum trying to stop this ultimate from GALA, he has too much damage. You don't have enough HP in this instance.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I guess you can get away with frontline not at top A is in another world, brother. I can't believe that. But
the Lion does not concern himself with his assistant coaches.
All right, we're back. Is it throwable? Yeah, just pull it up. Here's the question, especially given that we do not like the team comp here for JDG. They were able to pull away that last one, though. They just got so many rotations of gold cards into harassment. Flash over the wall from Tarzan, right on top of GALA. Flandre coming in from the backside. Tarzan's going to die for this, but they get the isolated all out on a GALA. Now Xiaoshu launching himself into a 1 versus 3. Mist not going to keep him alive. Petrifying Gaze onto 2. Pull back in on to Vampire, and 3 kills go the way of AL.
Wow, what an insanely close fight. I mean, Tarzan, don't get this away. I want to look at the items. Oh my god, that was an expensive fight. Nothing gained for this Baron, by the way, from JDG, who still have it on a few members. Very risky. You can see how Vampire, I love the positioning from him in this one. Trying to stay over the wall, whether it's to protect GALA, but invested the death sentence. He's trying to kill Tarzan. I love what the solo laners of AL do here. Flandre immediately books it right onto GALA. We see the flash from this Cassiopeia. They know their objective is to get rid of this Aphelios. And Xiaoshu, while he's in the back line, hell, we'll take that shutdown too. Really, really good fight. And this is all about the carries here. The solo laners, I think, stepping up massively for anyone's legend.
There we go. There's a room where all the coaches are... are letting the emotions take hold of them in this game number 5.
I think that was the team
AL
manager. I'm pretty sure that was Ahwe. Is their videographer. There we go. We got to meet him at MSI, actually. It's very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, this game is tense, man. Now the game 5 is actually kind of kicking.
It is. It's kind of hitting now. 1 dragon away from the Soul here. 5K gold lead to JDG. Still, the question is always going to remain. Xiaoshu, very strong in the side lane. Can't really be effectively matched by anybody on AL. In the 5-on-5, if AL are able to pull the trigger, they can win out on these. And if nothing else proves that, the fact that Flandre just raw flashed over red buff wall to start queuing GALA, won them a team fight. I don't know what will prove it. Any engage will do. You just have to start the 5-on-5 before you get harassed down to nothing.
By any means necessary. Look,
because it's still called spike racks, isn't it? Those are doing a lot of damage.
Yes, it is. It is in fact evolve spike racks. So I'm
see, they didn't change all of them.
No. Control of mid lane. Xiaoshu's gonna have to join in after. That is the edge of night gone. See, maybe if they look for something. I mean, 30 seconds before this dragon. Again, super tense, and no eyes on Gwen right now.
Now there's eyes on Gwen, spotting her coming on in from the top side. Junja, though, deep behind enemy lines. I think Hope might have seen him. It's hard to tell. Yeah.
Such weird battle lines here. Oh, Hong Q, no!
There's another dark passage to pull him out to safety. Once again, Vampire's clutch with it. Gets his boy out of danger, but that's a huge chunk. Hongq trying to channel a recall, uses the Empower from that mid lane quest 2026 here to try to help get Hongq out of this one as he TPs back on in and the dragon gets started. Junja stealth up in the front line with not active camouflage. One more pillar going to slow up GALA. Flandre coming in into the dragon pit, trying to push out the opposing jungler. Goes for the all out, pulls Junja out to the other side, but the dragon's not losing any health. Instead, it's Tarzan taking damage from Xiaoshu. Xiaoshu still going to be able to stay standing inside of the Dragon Pit. Junja's right back in there. The all-out didn't accomplish anything, and the Dragon is falling lower and lower. It goes the way of JDG. No soul this time for AL as they try to back away from the rest of the fight. Cassante was able to get a recall. He's trying to TP back in. Now they want to be able to cut off the escape route and find the fight on the back end. More poke coming on through from GALA, though these health bars are getting whittled lower and lower. This is the recipe for failure that AL have shown before. JDG, get another Dragon, get out without having to take a bad team fight. It's another win for them.
I look back to something you said where Cassiopeia loves when folks are walking into her, but if you're already on the objective, as Cassiopeia, what do you do in this situation? You don't have something like a Thresh to try to fish for engages with his hook. You don't have a Honkyu gold card with RFC. So if AL are not immediately on an objective, that becomes even more difficult for them to even look for fights there. Very little in terms of engagements. Flandre tries to take Junja out of the pit, but Tarzan can never walk in. He doesn't have enough resistances in this instance to do anything in these fights, so very, very disciplined engage there. And JDG, all of their misgivings, terrible early in the series, but maybe they are just 5-game merchants. Maybe they just do better when they have more time in a series.
Oh, Vampire! Can't Dark Passage himself, but does manage to step himself out of danger for now. Miasma's down. No team fight to be had here yet. Tarzan wants it, though. Trying to get a pillar onto somebody. Junja able to leap himself out to safety. And there is no fight to be had. Flash over from Kyle. I may have spoken too soon. Stun connects onto Xiaoshu. Hope trying to dash forward, but Xiaoshu's able to get himself out of there as well. And AL trying their best, cannot find a route in. Great stasis from Shanks. Avoids a big Moonlight Vigil, but that is not a team fight.
Kyle trying to force it. I think that AL recognize that this game is very much out of their control. Dark Passage again. Shanks!
Petrifying Gaze gets the stun and the slow onto one apiece, but not enough to be able to take the team fight. TP in from Xiaoshu. 5 members strong once again. Destiny into the back line. Honkyu finds a stun. It's on towards Tarzan. Kyle able to fend away the spikes. And no engage found by JDG. The dance will continue.
All fog of war here. Flandre tries to step up, but there's no TP for this Cassiopeia, thanks to them going for the cleanse. No flash either. And no cleanse now for this Lucian. Mikhails is on cooldown for the next 30 seconds. There might be a window here where JDG look to start up this Baron. You can see it's red-white for Felios. He's going to move into white and green, and that just means complete zone coverage. AL are again going to have to walk into this objective.
It's too late. They can't get out of this Baron in time. It's already fallen on down. Junja's over the wall, starting to get some chunk damage out of Tarzan. Vampire will fall, the only casualty of the fight so far. And JDG are able to retreat. 4 members wearing purple.
Such a tense game here. I mean, I was so excited to have Shanks as this Cassiopeia mega threat here in this game with a soul on their backs, but multiple fights in a row, we have seen that now JDG have a unbreakable line. They don't have a traditional like tank in their game, but with the Dark Passage and with the threat of potentially getting gold carded, AL have no ways of actually properly stepping forward. This is such a magnificent turn, and while a dangerous draft, I think, for JDG to operate through the early game, they have navigated this mid and late game beautifully. I will give them their flowers in this instance for doing such a great job, and you can see that AL don't have very many tools, even despite all of the cleanses and the abilities to get rid of these CCs.
Yeah, and they just haven't been able to be the first ones onto these objectives. JDG have been able to maintain map control for enough of the game and for long enough and consistently enough that they do not have to walk into AL. They don't have to start these fights, and it's not because they aren't playing the objectives. It's not because they're exclusively side laning. It's because they're making collapses onto Shanks on the side lane. Down goes Cassiopeia. TP in from Flandre. He needs to try to get out of here with his life. They're at risk of losing the game here. The base going to likely be broken open during this death timer. Flandre still able to keep himself out. That's a wasted Mikhails.
Yep.
Xiaoshu into the back line, trying to get onto Hope. Maybe reaching a little bit too far here. They will be able to back away. Opened up with the culling. Damage found onto Xiaoshu. Damage found on towards
That's
Unza
it
as well. And they're going to try to end the game here. 30 seconds to go. There's no Cassiopeia. They're going to have to take this fight. 4 versus 5. Dash in from Flandre. Double knockup. In with the all-out. Xiaoshu chops him down. Onto Hope. And everybody on AL just cannot stand and fight without Shanks. JDG, against all odds, come up in game number 5.